Hey there guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Cheriel Brown, and today I want to talk to you about movies that raise our consciousness. I had done YouTube videos back in 2018, and back then I focused on basically just script analyses of movies that I had seen in the movie theater. But now I want to kind of switch my attention from just doing basic script analyses, which I think, once you start studying screenplays, you can kind of figure that out once you go to the movies. But instead of just doing script analyses, I want to talk about movies that raise our consciousness. And one of the movies that I believe does that from this fall season is the movie Harriet. Now, Harriet was written by the screenwriter Gregory Allen Howard, and it was co-written by the director of the film, Casey Simmons. And actually, their credit on Internet Movie Database is not written by, but screenplay by. Once you begin to learn more about the industry, you do learn that those distinctions do matter. So whether it's written by or screenplay by, those things mean something different when you start working with the Writers Guild. So anyway, what I want to say about the movie Harriet is that Harriet is one of those movies that really raises our consciousness. Because whether or not you realize it or not, each of us as human beings is here for a reason. We came because we wanted to experience physicality, and we wanted to experience what it feels like to be a human. That might sound a little off to you if you think of yourself as a human being who may occasionally have spiritual experiences. But if you flip that, we are actually spiritual beings having a human experience. And so when you look at life in that way, from being a human being that is a spiritual being having a human experience, it changes a lot for you in what you are able to accomplish in your life. And all of us are here as spiritual beings having human experiences. One of the things that we have to do when we incarnate into our current lifetime as human beings is we have to remember who we really are. And who we really are, like I have said about 3 or 4 times so far, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And when you look at the movie Harriet, Harriet was definitely one of those people who realized who she was. She realized that she was capable of doing anything she put her mind to. One of the things I love about the movie is that Harriet Tubman is painted as a hero, which she was. She had tremendous strength and extreme courage to do what she did, which was go back to the plantation she was from more than one time to help other people escape from slavery, just as she had escaped from slavery. And if you've seen the movie, you remember the scene where her slave master was telling her that, slaves don't pray. God's not listening to you because you're a slave. And if you're praying, it doesn't matter. God's not going to hear you because you're a slave. So one of the things that Harriet knew, she knew intrinsically that she was worthy of prayer. She did know that she was being listened to by God. And that's all of us. All of us who approach God or who want to do something, we have that power and that strength within ourselves to accomplish whatever we put our minds to. And Harriet was definitely one of those people. There's a scene in the movie where her sister says to her, Harriet, all of us can't run. And I remember thinking to myself at that moment when she said that, when I was in the theater, I remember thinking to myself, actually, we all can run. We just all don't know how to find the power within ourselves to do amazing things. But the thing I love about the movie Harriet is that it just points out to us who we actually are. And that is, I think, one of the biggest things that people have to remember is who they really are. They are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when that is the case, and when a person realizes that, is nothing that person can't do, is nothing that person can't accomplish. And I believe that Harriet really gives an example of that in the movie Harriet. So if you haven't seen the movie Harriet, which is based on the true story of Harriet Tubman, then go check that out. There's also a part in the movie where basically when she's hit in the head with that that weight that's thrown at her when she's a child. They don't show that part in the movie, but they mention it because she's able to kind of look at a situation and see what's going to happen in that situation, and she doesn't really know or have an explanation to why this is happening, but that is actually something that all of us are potentially capable of. We just don't have that ability awakened within us. And when Harriet got that weight thrown at her, what the movie is saying, it gave her like that third eye, and it made her even closer to remembering who she was and able to be who she was at her core, which was a spiritual being having a human experience. And she was able to lead so many other people out of slavery just as she had. She could have gotten to the north, which in this case she's coming from Maryland and she's going like a couple states up. I think it's like Pennsylvania where she goes to, and she's made it to the north. But then they during the course of the movie, they changed some of the laws, so it becomes impossible to just even stay within the United States. But at that point, they had to make it to Canada. And Harriet had a very deep sense of purpose, and that's another thing that we as human beings are looking for when we're trying to awaken ourselves and remember who we are. We're trying to remember what we're capable of, and one of those things that we go through once we remember who we are is discovering what our purpose is. Why are we here? How can we serve humanity and make the world a better place? And Harriet knew that what she was here to do was to help people escape slavery. That was her purpose, and it was a deep felt purpose within herself. And I remember she told the character that was played by the character, I can't think of his name, but it was the guy who was in Hamilton, Leslie Odom. When she told Leslie Odom's character, you know, I'm not going to back down, I'm not going to change my mind because it's far. You know, she was like, that's just an obstacle, but we can overcome that obstacle, because she knew why she was here. She knew she was here to help people escape slavery and make the world a better place. And little did she know, she probably couldn't even imagine that what she was doing would make it to the 21st century, and people would still be talking about what she did, and people would still be inspired by her courage and her bravery. And, you know, I just want everybody to feel that, you know, connection to knowing who you really are by going to see this movie called Harriet. And again, the screenplay was by Gregory Allen Howard, and the director, Casey Simmons, is worth checking out. And, you know, the movies teach us so much. The movies teach us, a lot of times the good movies teach us how we can live life and how we can be happier. And one of the things that makes us happier is remembering who we are at our core, and realizing what our deep purpose is. So guys, I really do hope you take the time to check out the movie. Again, the name of the movie is Harriet. It may still be in some theaters, but if it's not, if you've missed it, or if I've done this video too late, then definitely check it out on streaming when it becomes available. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you'll get notifications when I do my next video. Thanks, and you guys have a great rest of your week.